Last week I was in Parliament when Keir Starmer agreed with the Conservative Party leader that Gaza war survivors should not have been allowed to enter the UK through the Ukraine family scheme. But Declassified had been told by a senior immigration lawyer that the Prime Minister, who is described by his allies as forensic, didn't do his research.
Let me be clear, I do not agree with the decision. She's right, it's the wrong decision. And the Home Secretary is already looking at the legal loophole which we need to close in this particular case.
I saw MPs astonished that there wasn't even a sliver of compassion or sympathy from the Prime Minister or the Leader of the Opposition in response to the circumstances of the family in question. And what were the circumstances? The tribunal decision detailed that the family's home was destroyed by an airstrike and they were displaced. They were then living in a tent which had been punctured by what appeared to be heavy machine gun ammunition fired by Israeli forces. Torrential rain has resulted in the tent being flooded, and it was clearly in the children's best interest to escape from Gaza, a place where their lives were at risk on a daily basis. So what did Starmer get wrong? Well, firstly, there is no loophole. The family from Gaza had no option but to, using the Home Office's own advice, use an application form that most closely resembles their own case, which in this case was a Ukraine family scheme. And in any case, the Ukraine family scheme ended in February 2024. Despite the horrific conditions the family were living in, outlined by the judge, and having strong family ties to the UK, the Home Office said they did not have a compassionate or compelling case. The family appealed on human rights grounds, and the appeal judge decided that the family should be granted a family visa based on the Home Office's own rules. And now the most senior judge in England and Wales has commented that she was deeply troubled to learn of the exchanges in Parliament last week and has written to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's comments sparked days of fevered coverage in the right-wing press, and many Conservative commentators alleged that the Gaza family's case would open the floodgates for thousands of applications. However, an immigration minister said in December 2024 that only 148 entry clearance applications from Gazan residents had been approved since the conflict began. By contrast, around 254,000 Ukrainian refugees have been allowed into the UK. Let's not forget, Starmer has written books about human rights law, so he knows that this announcement is not only showing a double standard when it comes to victims of war from Europe versus those from the Middle East, that has no basis in law and therefore panders to the growing tide of right-wing populism in the UK.